the souls you were destined to meet before you were born. Screamed, "Where is the one who truly sees me?" It's not just about romance or passion or even companionship. It's about a recognition that goes beyond time, beyond logic, and beyond this single lifetime. You feel it, don't you? That sense that someone, maybe more than one, was meant to find you in this chaotic world. Not just to love you, but to unlock you, to remember you as you remember them. These are your soulmate chosen ones, and they are not myths or wishful thinking. They are real. And right now, they're walking the earth, waiting to collide with your reality at the exact moment your soul is ready. But here's the twist: most people never find them. Why? Because they're looking with their eyes instead of their soul. The question isn't just where are they, but who must I become to see them when they appear?
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons.
Before you were born, before your first breath, your soul met others in a dimension beyond time. Together, you agreed to support, challenge, and awaken each other. Some of these agreements were for brief encounters that would shift the course of your path. Others were for lifetimes of deep, transformative union. These are your soulmate chosen ones, and they are not always romantic. Some come as friends, mentors, spiritual mirrors, or even enemies that crack open your illusions. But a few, a rare few, come as the sacred partners your soul has longed for across lifetimes. These are the ones who make your spirit ache when you think of them, even before you meet. When you do finally cross paths, it's like touching something ancient. Your body may not understand it, but your soul remembers. It's not just chemistry, it's recognition. And this recognition is not always gentle. Sometimes it's a storm. Because soulmate chosen ones don't come into your life to fit neatly into your comfort. They come to elevate you toward your highest alignment. But here's where it gets deep. You don't attract your soulmate chosen ones by manifesting them with vision boards or scripted affirmations on repeat. You find them through alignment. And alignment often requires collapse. This is why so many people meet their true soulmates after heartbreak, after betrayal, after the death of who they thought they were. The universe is not cruel, it's precise. It breaks your illusions so that your truth can emerge. And only your truth can recognize the truth in another. That's why your soulmate hasn't shown up yet, or why you lost them when they did. Because either you weren't ready, or they weren't. The vibration of your soul has to match the vibration of the agreement you made. That's why your healing is not just a personal journey, it's a cosmic reunion process. Every time you shed an old belief, a false identity, a layer of fear, you're getting closer to the frequency where they already exist. You don't chase them, you tune to them. Let me ask you something now. And I want you to feel this, not just think it. What if the love you've been searching for isn't something you find, but something you awaken within you so that it can finally be mirrored back by the only soul who can truly see it? Because here's the truth. You'll never recognize your soulmate chosen ones if you're still hiding from yourself. You'll walk right past them, or worse, you'll sabotage the connection because your nervous system still believes love is danger. So the real search is inward. The real reunion begins when you stop pretending, when you start walking in your truth, when you begin living as if you are already complete. Because when you do that, something magical happens. The universe bends, time folds, and the souls who were always meant to find you do. Not through chance, but through perfect divine collision. The signs, dreams, and synchronicities of soul connection. How to know when they're near. There comes a moment, sometimes subtle, sometimes explosive, when you feel it. A shift in the air around you. A strange magnetic pull in your chest. A dream so vivid it lingers on your skin like a memory. These are not coincidences. They are signals. When your soulmate chosen ones begin to approach your energetic field, the universe starts speaking in a language far older than words. Symbols appear, patterns repeat, numbers follow you like whispers from another realm. You start waking up at the same mysterious hour. You hear a song that feels like it was written for you. You meet strangers who remind you of someone you've never met. What's happening isn't random, it's resonance. The timeline of your soul is folding in on itself, drawing you toward the meeting that was written long before this life. But here's the key. To hear these signs, your inner world must be tuned to stillness. You must learn to listen not with your ears, but with your spirit. Dreams are often the first portal where your soulmate chosen ones begin to reach you, especially if you haven't met them yet in the physical. Why? Because the soul remembers beyond the veil. While your conscious mind sleeps, your spirit travels. You may dream of someone you don't recognize, yet feel deeply connected to. You might see the same figure again and again, their face blurry, but their presence unmistakable. They might speak to you, or simply stand in the distance, watching, waiting. These are not just dreams. They are previews. Soul-to-soul communication before the physical reunion. Pay attention to the details. What colors do you see? What emotions rise? What symbols repeat? Even if you don't understand the full meaning, write them down. Treat your dreams as sacred transmissions, because they are. That dream realm is where soulmate contracts begin to activate, and your awareness of them is the first step in bringing them into your waking life. Now let's talk about synchronicities, the universe's way of winking at you when something important is aligning. When your soulmate chosen ones are near, your life will start to unravel in ways that feel both terrifying and exhilarating. You'll be guided to new places without knowing why. You'll meet people who open doors you didn't even know existed. You'll be nudged into strange decisions that make no logical sense yet feel perfectly aligned. This is not coincidence. It's orchestration. The universe rearranges reality to fulfill soul contracts. People who ignore these nudges often delay their meeting or worse, miss it entirely. But those who trust the pull, who let go of control, who surrender to the mystery, they are the ones who collide with destiny in the most unexpected ways. Sometimes at a cafe, sometimes through a friend, sometimes through a breakdown that leads to a breakthrough. The form doesn't matter. What matters is that you're awake when it comes. But there's another sign, perhaps the most misunderstood of all, and that is inner chaos. Yes, chaos. When your soulmate chosen one is close, your system often goes into energetic turbulence. Why? Because your soul recognizes them before your mind does. And when that soul-level recognition begins, all the parts of you that are still afraid of intimacy, still stuck in survival, still clinging to the past, they begin to surface. Old wounds get triggered, doubts arise. You may even feel like something is wrong, like you're being pulled apart. But in truth, you're being rearranged. You're being prepared. The soul doesn't want to meet its mirror while still wearing a mask. So the chaos is not destruction, it's alignment. It's your higher self breaking down the walls you built to protect yourself, so the one who is meant to find you can finally enter. So here's a question to sit with. Are you mistaking divine preparation for misfortune? Are you resisting the very signs that were sent to guide you home? Why most people miss their soulmate chosen ones, and how not to be one of them. This might be hard to hear, but it's the truth. Most people miss their soulmate chosen ones. Not because they're not destined, not because the timing isn't perfect, but because they're not present when it happens. They're still chasing ideas instead of embodying truth, still addicted to the illusion of control, still holding on to versions of themselves that were never real to begin with. Soulmate chosen ones don't come for your fantasy. They come for your essence. If you're living behind a mask, they won't find you. Or worse, they'll find the mask, fall away, and you'll wonder what went wrong. The tragedy is that most people are so busy searching outside themselves, they never become the version of themselves they were meant to be when the soul connection arrives. So the connection passes like a comet in the night, visible, brilliant, unforgettable, and gone. Not because destiny failed, but because you weren't ready to hold it. Readiness isn't a checklist of achievements. It's not about being perfect. It's about being real. Can you sit with yourself in silence? Can you hold your own pain without projecting it onto someone else? Can you allow love to enter without trying to control it, define it, own it? These are the inner questions that determine whether you meet your soulmate chosen ones in this lifetime or just dream of them. Because here's the paradox: the more you chase them, the further they drift. The more you focus on becoming the clearest, most aligned version of yourself, the more you magnetize them. This is why healing is not just for survival, it's for reunion. Every wound you heal creates space for the connection to land. Every truth you speak makes you more visible to the one who's seeking you too. Because yes, they're looking for you. Right now, they're feeling the same ache. They're following their own signs. But if you're not standing in your truth when they arrive, your frequencies won't match and the soul contract stays dormant. One of the biggest ways we miss our soulmate chosen ones is by confusing attachment with recognition. Just because someone triggers deep emotion in you doesn't mean they're your soulmate. Painful chemistry is not sacred connection. Trauma bonds are not divine agreements. And yet, so many of us settle for the intensity of familiarity instead of the depth of soul resonance. We mistake chaos for passion. We mistake control for care. But your soulmate chosen ones won't feel like a high-speed chase. They'll feel like a deep remembering. Yes, there may be challenges, sometimes intense ones, but the core of the connection will be clarity, a sense of home, A feeling that no matter how much growth is required, the foundation is rooted in something pure. So ask yourself, am I truly open to soul-level love, or am I still addicted to the drama that distracts me from myself? Because soulmates don't come to complete you. They come to meet you. And if you're not home within yourself, no one else can find you there. So how do you make sure you don't miss them? Live as if they already know you're coming. Live as if your soul is leaving breadcrumbs through every choice you make. Feel not for them, but for you. Align not to be found, but because it's who you are. When you walk in truth, you become undeniable. When you radiate your essence, they can't help but recognize you. And when the moment comes, because it will, you won't need confirmation. You'll feel it in your bones, or in your breath, in the silence between words, and you'll know, this is the one my soul saw before I was born. But only if you've done the one thing most people avoid, the inner work of becoming the one your soulmate is searching for. So here's the final question. Are you willing to stop waiting for them and start becoming the version of yourself who is already walking beside them in spirit, in truth, in alignment? The sacred union and the real work of love, what happens after you find them? Finding your soulmate chosen one is not the end of the journey, it's the beginning of the highest form of spiritual work you will ever do. The movies, the stories, the dreamlike beginnings all lead us to believe that once we find the one, everything becomes easy. But that's not the soul's truth. That's the ego's fantasy. Real love, the sacred, soul-level kind, is not about escape or eternal bliss. It's about mirror and expansion. It's about two souls who made a divine agreement to reflect the highest truths and deepest shadows within each other so that both may evolve. And yes, it can be beautiful, transcendent, but only if you're willing to do the real work. Because once you find them, everything in you that remains unhealed will rise like a wave, not to destroy the connection, but to purify it. Your soulmate chosen one doesn't come to make you feel good all the time. They come to make you whole, and wholeness requires breaking, rebuilding, and becoming. The sacred union is the alchemy of two sovereign beings choosing to merge not out of need, but out of alignment. That word alignment is everything. You don't complete each other, you amplify each other. You don't fill each other's voids. You hold space while the other learns to fill their own. You don't lose yourself inside them. You find more of yourself in their reflection. But this can only happen when both people choose presence over perfection. When you stop trying to control the experience and instead surrender to the sacred work unfolding between you. This is why so many soulmate connections fail, not because the love wasn't real, but because the inner foundations weren't strong enough to hold the magnitude of what was being awakened. Your soulmate chosen one will trigger you not because they want to hurt you, but because they are you at soul level. And when you see yourself that clearly, all the masks you've worn must fall. That's the point. That's the gift, but only if you accept it. Now let's talk about the real spiritual work of love. It's not in the grand declarations or the cosmic moments. It's in the daily choices. It's in the way you show up when you don't feel seen. It's in the way you hold space when the other is unraveling. It's in the way you choose honesty over comfort, vulnerability over protection, truth over convenience. Soulmate love is not passive. It's not just something you feel, it's something you do. Over and over. Even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. Because that's when the soul grows. That's when the contract deepens. That's when the magic becomes real. The spiritual path doesn't end when you find each other. It intensifies. Because now, your growth is no longer just about you. It's about the sacred container you've created together. And what you build inside that container, whether it's a home, a mission, a family, or simply a deeper level of consciousness, becomes your offering to the world. So if you found them, or if you feel them on the horizon, know this. The real question is not will they stay, but will I stay awake? Will you continue to do the work even after the high fades? Will you love them even when they mirror back the parts of yourself you haven't yet healed? Will you choose the path of sacred union over the path of comfort and retreat? Because soulmate love is not a destination. It's a devotional path, and like any path, it will challenge, stretch, and test you. But if you stay the course, if you honor the contract, if you both commit to the fire of truth, you will create something rare, something holy, something that echoes across lifetimes. So I ask you now, in the deepest way possible, what kind of love are you truly prepared to receive? And are you willing to become the kind of soul who can sustain it, not just in moments of euphoria, but in seasons of transformation? Because in the end, the soulmate chosen ones don't come to save you. They come to walk beside you as you both become who you were always meant to be. Together, not as halves, but as whole, sovereign beings who chose each other again, in this lifetime and in all the lifetimes to come.